How Matheus Cunha will fit into Ruben Amorim's Man United. Today, we're going to dive into the tactics, the formations, the starting 11s, and the analysis to break down Matheus Cunha's move to Old Trafford. If you're new around here, make sure to hit that subscribe button, like the video. But anyway, let's get this party started. For Wolves, Matheus Cunha has largely played as a striker or attacking midfielder. But breaking down his goal return, you can clearly see that the Brazilian favours that number 10 role. And if we dig a little bit deeper, we can actually see that Matheus Cunha performs his best in a left attacking midfield role in a 3-4-2-1 formation. The same shape that Manchester United use under Ruben Amorim. That was Gary O'Neill's preferred setup during his time as Wolves manager, but also Vitor Pereira's continued with that structure. So for Matheus Cunha, that is a really good starting point. He's performed well in the Premier League and in a similar system to the one that we expect him to play in at Man United. In terms of Ruben Amorim's setup, the width comes from the two wing-backs. The back three and the two defensive midfielders have a lot of responsibility in terms of moving the ball and then progressing the play. The two number 10s are the link between the defence and the attack. So what is required of Amorim's number 10s? Amorim's number 10s need to receive progressive and line-breaking passes from deep. Because of this, they need to be good at playing with their back to goal, turning under pressure or finding space to receive in, but ideally, they'll be good at all three. Once in possession, they need good awareness of their surroundings to keep the ball moving with passes, but they also need to be able to progress the play with carries and dribbles in tight spaces. Meanwhile, in the final third, they start as the orchestrators, the guys playing shape-breaking passes, but they also have to get into the box and become goal threats. They're the basics. It's why Kobbie Mainoo, a technical ball carrier and decent passer, is better suited to the attacking roles than Bruno Fernandes, who's traditionally been one of the best attacking midfielders in Europe, but has never thrived as a ball carrier. In terms of Cunha, he's pretty much perfect for the left attacking midfield role under Ruben Amorim. A well-rounded attacker and a very good footballer. But the thing that really will help Manchester United is his ability to receive the ball into feet, even when under pressure from an opponent. From those positions, due to his good first touch and ability to get himself in between the ball and the opponent, he's really good at holding up the play and linking with teammates. Usually what you'll tend to see with Cunha is the defenders trying to actually get ahead of him and nick the ball, but this only opens up more space for Cunha to escape into, drive at the opposition, and then get shots away on goal. Like we see in this example against Arsenal, operating in a really tight area with pressure on his back. So Matheus Cunha checks his surroundings once, then twice, receives with the sole of his foot under pressure from Thomas Partey, rolls the pressure easily and gets taken down by Kai Havertz and wins a free kick. As Man United fans, we've seen Matheus Cunha do this against us about 1 million times. And whilst he is a direct threat on the dribble, winning the free kick that led to the winner at Old Trafford, he doesn't get tunnel visioned, which we can see in this example at Molineux. We pick up the play with Wolves switching the play to the left-hand side. Matheus Cunha has dropped deep to get on the ball, allowing Aït-Nouri to position himself high up the pitch. Matheus Cunha's first touch is great, completely sells Mazraoui, and he can carry inside. From this position, he breaks Man United's defensive setup with a very good pass into the feet of Strand Larsen. At this point in the shot, we can see it's a 4-on-4, but in fact, with Aït-Nouri just out of shot on the left wing, Wolves have actually created an overload on Man United's backline with really good build-up play from Matheus Cunha. And this is something that's been seriously missing for Manchester United for a few seasons now. In fact, Man United have not ranked in the top 4 for progressive passes in the Premier League for 4 seasons, and those numbers have been decreasing year on year. This is important because progressive or line-breaking passes puts your opponent under pressure. This allows you to control the game and build attacking momentum. And if we look at another statistic, final third touches, it directly correlates with the progressive pass numbers over the last 4 seasons, with this year Man United ranking 10th in the Premier League. That is utter rubbish. And yes, well, there's a lot of pressure or responsibility in a sense of the back 5 players playing those passes in Ruben Amorim's system. There is still a lot of work to be done on the attacking midfield line, finding areas to get on the ball. And one thing that we've seen Matheus Cunha do frequently at Wolves is drop back into a wing-back position when that left-sided player is playing high. This is something that would help United's build-up once again. From these positions, positions like we saw in the example. Matheus Cunha can carry inside and then look for the big switch of play to right wing back. Something that would be devastating with Amad Diallo excelling in those 1v1 situations. In fact, Matheus Cunha ranks in the top 9% of forwards for switches of play, something that he could add to Man United's team. And Matheus Cunha dropping to get involved in the build-up will only help Bruno Fernandes, who's had to carry Manchester United in all assets of the game. Build-up, playing through balls, switching the play, scoring goals, getting assists. Having another player that can drop deep into these types of areas will only improve Manchester United. Not only will it potentially coax certain players out of the opposition's shape, which could consequently see Bruno take up higher positions and dictate the play in the final third, but it could also allow Manchester United to really play with a fluid attack, knowing that Matheus Cunha has that ability to really beat his opposition man on the dribble, allowing United to break the opponent's lines and then play better in the final third. We only want simple things as Man United fans. It's been a tough season. But in terms of positions, I fully expect Matheus Cunha very much to play in this left attacking midfield role. That's where we've seen his best football in the Premier League, and it will continue at Manchester United. From those positions, in terms of his big strengths, he's a player that can just provide a spark in the final third. For me, he's very, very dangerous in zone 14. It's an area that he absolutely excels in. That's either linking with teammates or getting shots at goal. One of the big things I like about him is his threat on the carry. He's a player that's similar in a sense of Alejandro Garnacho in terms of basic numbers, carries leading to shots or key passes. But whereas Garnacho's had one goal resulting in his carries, Cunha is a completely new level. He's been directly involved in 8 goals from carries, 50% of them being assists, 50% of them being goals. Only Son and Burmo and Mohamed Salah have managed more in the Premier League this season. Man United might have 2 of that list, but Matheus Cunha is the first one there. And yes, he scored goals against weaker teams, but his best goal of this season came against the champions, Liverpool. He absolutely destroyed them. We pick up the play with McAllister trying to clear, which is intercepted by one of the favourites on this channel, Andre. Yes, Andre's been great in the Premier League. Could have been available for around £20 million. But anyway, we're focusing on another Brazilian today, so less on that. As the interception's made, you can see the ball is worked out wide to Semenyo. Matheus Cunha is walking at the moment. Something the top players do. Sometimes they don't follow the play, they almost slow themselves down and wait for the play to reach them. And that's exactly what happens as Semenyo cuts back inside and finds Bellegarde with the ball. Once again, Cunha is basically stopped. He's in a position to wait. As Bellegarde draws a bit of pressure from McAllister, Matheus Cunha takes a touch with the sole of his foot. PFA Young Player of the Year Ryan Gravenberch puts him under pressure. He fakes to take a shot, rolls the ball inside before curling it into the bottom corner against one of the best goalkeepers in the league with his weaker left foot. A spark, a moment of brilliance, something that we will see at Old Trafford. People tend to think Cunha operates in front of the defence, waiting for the ball into feet before dribbling and getting shots away like we've just looked at that goal against Liverpool. But Cunha also has that dual threat, the ability to operate as a second striker and use his movement to get in behind the defence, such as this example against Fulham. We pick up the play with Wolves rotating the ball through Totti, Lamina and into Andre's feet. You can see Cunha in between the lines. He's checking his shoulder, he's seeing where his teammates are. Wolves continue with a bit of slow play round the back. There's a little bit of pressure from the attacking midfield zone of Fulham. They drop the ball back to a right centre-back position. And here's where Cunha comes alive. He checks his shoulder again and spots a little bit of space in between the right centre-half and right full-back. And this move is great. Lamina carries the ball out and Cunha sets off. This is a classic second striker move. When we talk about him being well-rounded, this is why. He provides such a different threat in different moments of the game. The ball is clipped over the top and we can clearly see that space here between the right back and the right centre back. Given the nature of Wolves' shape, similar to Manchester United, the wing backs cause fullbacks problems and United don't attack this channel enough. Imagine this potentially being, Lenny Yoro or maybe a Bruno Fernandes who's even dropped onto the back line. The ball's clipped over the defence. The first touch is world class. The second is even better. And the third is a lovely dink over Bernd Leno. But that ability to be a different threat, not being a player that just receives, will give him something big at Old Trafford. What's more impressive about Cunha's output is he doesn't tend to take penalties, which is good for Manchester United, who have already got Bruno Fernandes. Matheus Cunha scored 15 non-penalty goals this season in the Premier League, which ranks him 6th in the competition. But in fact, if you look at the past decade, only 3 players have scored more than Matheus Cunha's 15 non-penalty goals this season. He'll add massive output to an area of Man United's team that have truly struggled this season. So let's move on and start talking about chance creation. As we mentioned before, Matheus Cunha is a big fan of creating chances following dribbles, moving into that left channel, receiving the ball into feet, and then getting himself going on the carry. One thing he likes to do is cut back across the pitch on his stronger right foot and then look for the through ball, something that would do really well with Amad Diallo making moves in behind the opponent's defence. That link up with the switch is very good, but also could be there with the through ball. In fact, Cunha has got more through balls this season than any 2 Wolves players combined and actually ranks 4th in the Premier League for wingers looking for through balls behind the opposition's defence. And we see a great example of this against Southampton. We pick up the play with Craig Dawson carrying out from the back, shifting the ball to Totti, who's going to look to clip a ball into the channel. Just notice that there's been a slight rotation in position. Matheus Cunha's holding the width, Aït-Nouri, the nominal left wing back, is inside, something that Man United need to do more under Ruben Amorim. The pass isn't quite going to hit the target. Kyle Walker-Peters heads the ball back and Cunha pounces on it, intercepting the play. And here's where we see almost a trait of Matheus Cunha, cutting inside on that left foot, driving directly at the opposition's weakness in the middle. But I love the composure here. Cutting inside, playing that through ball in behind the defence for Sarabia to round the goalkeeper and fire home. But the weight of pass there is absolutely fantastic. A goal created by a Matheus Cunha carry. Hopefully, we'll see more of those at Old Trafford next season. Even though I think Matheus Cunha will largely be Amorim's left number 10, I don't think he'll be completely locked down to that position. For Wolves, Matheus Cunha is given a lot of freedom to roam, find pockets of space, and playmate. And going back to that example we previously spoke about, Matheus Cunha switching the play to the right-hand side, something he should do at Manchester United. What he likes to do after the ball's been switched though is support the play on that side. What you'll tend to see is Matheus Cunha drift out and support the flank. This allows Wolverhampton Wanderers and thus Manchester United to overload the opposition's shape. Something that United don't do enough is have their 10s move to the opposite flank and support the play and get on the ball. As much as Matheus Cunha is very good on the left-hand side, from the right-hand side he is far more creative. From these positions he operates like a creative winger. A player that's going to receive the ball into feet and then attack the opposition on the outside before getting crosses into the box. Something that could be very good for Manchester United's far side attacking midfielder and the far side wingback. Cunha operating in more of a creative manner, making things happen in the final third, and then get balls onto that far side to try and overload the opposition's defensive line. And we see that creative wing play against Ipswich. Doherty has just recovered the ball following a Wolves attack. Matheus Cunha received the ball in arguably a nominal right wing back position. He checks inside before standing up Amari Hutchinson, drawing in the tackle by first cutting inside, then going on the outside and exploding with really good pace. From this position, he gets a really good low ball into the box that's well defended by Ipswich. And the only player with this type of quality in the Manchester United squad is Amad Diallo. And when he plays wing-back, United are a better team. But imagine him interchanging positions and having a fluid role and relationship with Matheus Cunha as a right attacking midfielder. This could be something we see at Manchester United, finding the underlaps, but both that can play on the inside and both that can go on the outside on the right flank for Man United. But another aspect of his game that is seriously underrated is his early crossing from the right wing. Either what he likes to do from this position is hit the far side attacking midfielder, making a move into the box, or hitting the centre forward on that near post. Both things would add something to Man United's attack. And we've got an example against Leicester City. Notice that Cunha switched positions with the right wing-back moving inside. As Agbadou finds a really good forward pass ahead of Matheus Cunha, he takes one touch and instantly looks for that ball into the near post for the centre forward. Strand Larsen gets ahead of Wout Vass and fires wide. This again is something that Man United don't have. People that see things in the final third and do it quickly. Matheus Cunha is going to add another dimension on the right wing for Man United. What's more, no matter where Matheus Cunha plays, he has supreme quality. Like we saw against Bournemouth, where he received in space, turned and sliced open the Bournemouth shape with a through ball to the right wing back. We've also seen Matheus Cunha operate as a centre forward in the Premier League, and whilst I don't think we'll see this every week, it could be a situational weapon. For example, if Manchester United are leading a game and they want to throw on another midfielder, pushing Matheus Cunha forward, allowing him to be that option, either to find his feet on the counter-attack or looking him in behind the defence, he could be a weapon in these situations, allowing Man United to have another defensive body whilst retaining their threat on the counter-attack. In fact, Matheus Cunha scored 3 goals playing as a centre forward, and they've all come after the 85th minute. Here we've got Matheus Cunha in a centre forward position in a 5-4-1 at the end of the game against Aston Villa. Villa moved the ball to the left hand side and find Morgan Rogers in between the lines. Bueno comes in, wins the ball with a tackle. Instantly, Hwang looks for Matheus Cunha behind the Villa defence. Konsa cuts it out with a header, but Matheus Cunha shows his speed and gets the wrong side of Ezri Konsa. From that point, he drives, stopping Ezri Konsa in the penalty area and checks back. He then stands him up, draws in Boubacar Kamara, steps over the ball, creates a little moment where he can get a right-footed shot away across Emi Martinez to win the game for Wolverhampton Wanderers. That threat late in game for Manchester United could be massive. But also in big games, Matheus Cunha could be selected in the centre forward position, allowing Ruben Amorim to put more central midfielders in the side, allowing more work and defensive firepower, whilst allowing Cunha to be that counter-attacking option. And we saw that counter-attacking threat against Spurs. Once again, Wolves set up in a 5-4-1 structure with Cunha as the 9. What I like about this is Cunha arguably is doing his job. He's sat on the 6. But he isn't that interested at the moment. He's almost floating around. But as soon as Bergvall enters his area, he jumps into action, wins a really good tackle, instantly explodes, beats Ben Davies for pace, carries him behind the defence and side foots the ball home. Cracking counter-attacking play. So let's conclude. It is time for our transfer rating, a new feature that we're adding to all of our transfer videos. For Manchester United, Matheus Cunha is almost perfect. He's a significant improvement over Manchester United's current forward options. He's already performed well in a similar system in the same league, and he's just 26 years old. If I were to rate this deal overall, I'd say it's a 4 out of 5 stars, with the overall finances of the deal the only aspect that could be realistically improved. Matheus Cunha is a great first step, but Manchester United need to do a lot more work than just the Brazilian. A new centre forward, more physicality in midfield, and more attacking quality at wing back is needed for next season. United have started well. In Europe's top 5 leagues since the start of last season, Matheus Cunha scored more goals than any other Brazilian. But work has to be done. Cunha is the start. Let me know in the comments below your transfer rating, but also whether you think Matheus Cunha will be a success at Man United. I've been Statman Dave. Subscribe if you are new, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, why not check out some more content on the Statman Dave YouTube channel.